Welcome to the regular meeting of the Cape Coral City Council. Today is April 1st, 2026. This meeting now comes to order. Please stand for the invocation, pledge allegiance by Councilmember Steinke.
Let's bow our heads. Father, thank you for this opportunity to come together. Have us ever mindful that we are all citizens of the city, that we're coming together today to discuss and make the best decisions possible for the future of the Cape and all those in it today and tomorrow. Father, thank you for those that have taken the time to be here this evening. Thank you for them wanting to participate and witness the change and participate in the changes that are necessary. Father, thank you for all of our blessings. We thank you for our servicemen and women around the globe, but especially in the Middle East right now as that conflict continues. Father, we thank you for our local police, fire, first responders that take care of us here at home while those take care of us abroad. We ask your blessing on this crowd and on all the decisions made here this evening. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Gunter,
Here.
Council Members Donnell,
Here.
Paduk,
Here.
Kilrain,
Here.
Lastra,
Here.
Lehman,
Here.
Long, Steinke,
Here.
all present.
Okay, thank you. Item 5 is changes to the agenda. The only change I would like to make is move up the Youth Council members' agenda item, which their quarterly report, which is 8D under new business. If we could move that up to directly following recognitions and achievements. And Councilmember Lehman, I see your light on as well.
Yes, I'd like to make changes to the consent agenda. I can do it now, or I can do it later.
Well, let's, since we're adopting the agenda, let's hear what's on your mind first.
Excuse me?
Go ahead.
Okay, I want to pull number 5, number 8.
We'll get to that
Number-
once we get to the consent agenda.
Yes, but I want changes to the consent agenda.
Okay, all right. So when we get to the consent agenda, I'll come to you first for items that you want to pull.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to approve the regular agenda with the change as noted.
Okay, any other discussion by council? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Gunter,
Aye.
Paduk,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman,
Aye.
Long,
Aye.
Steinke,
Aye.
Donnell, 8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, item 6 is recognitions and achievements. Tonight we have presentation for the City of Cape Coral Student of the Month. At this time, I'm proud to share that the city is partnering with the Lee County School District to recognize Students of the Month. We do that at the beginning of the meetings of each month. And tonight, since this is our first meeting, we'll be recognizing 2 students. We're excited to celebrate the outstanding students and their achievements, not only in the classroom, but also through their leadership, service, and positive contributions within their school and throughout our community. These young individuals truly represent a bright future of our city. We commend each of them for their hard work, dedication, and commitment to excellence, and we honor their and recognize them this evening. Joining me today, it looks like we have 2 members from the school board. We have Mr. Fisher and Mr. Persons, and we appreciate you coming tonight. So I'd like to invite you 2, Mr. Matthews, who's the Associate Superintendent, Mr. Jackson, who's the Principal, Cape Coral High School, Mr. Mitchell is the Principal, Mariner. I'd like to invite you all up here to the front, and I'll let you go ahead and recognize the 2 students. Yep.
Jordan.
Oh, I didn't see her here.
Yes,
Oh,
just came.
come on up. Sorry
Come
about
up.
that. Didn't see you hanging out over there.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Thomas Michael, and I am the proud principal at Mariner High School. The student I want to introduce today is one of Mariner's finest, Jacoby Changasi. Jacoby serves as the brigade commander of Mariner High School's Army JROTC, leading over 700 cadets in one of the nation's top programs. He maintains an outstanding 4.69 GPA while excelling as a national and Florida state champion in marksmanship. Jacoby leads with discipline, integrity, and humility, oversees key program initiatives, and has completed more than 200 hours of community service. He is a widely respected role model and one of the most distinguished students at Mariner High School. Also, he had probably the best prom proposal I have ever seen in the history of Mariner High School. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacoby Changakis.
Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Jackson. I am the very proud principal of Cape Coral High School, and I am honored to introduce Hannah Johnson. Hannah exemplifies the highest standards of a Cape Coral Seahawk. She has been the captain of our Hawkettes dance team and a leader in our DECA, which she just helped lead Cape High to a state competition for the first time in over 7 years. A member of our International Baccalaureate program, she will graduate with an impressive 5.44 GPA. Hannah is a dedicated leader, active volunteer, and a student of exceptional character who is highly deserving of this recognition. And I'm proud to bring up Hannah Johnson.
Okay. Great job. Congratulations to these amazing students. They're part of our future, obviously, and that future is bright. Again, I want to thank the principals, obviously, for the amazing work they do in the school district, and thank you so much to the mayor, the council, the city manager, everyone that makes this possible. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, and I just want to congratulate each one of you too for being recognized here tonight, and thank you for all your hard work and dedication. Okay, just a reminder for everyone who is here tonight, anyone who wishes to speak during citizens' input, once we get to that point in the agenda, must fill out a comment card, which is in the front to my far left there on the table. So if you wish to speak during citizens' input, please fill out a card and the city clerk will call you up one by one once we get to that segment of the agenda. Item 8D is new business. First of which we move this particular agenda up. It's the Youth Council Quarterly Report, and Councilmember Laster is the liaison to the Youth Council, so I will turn the floor over to her to start with.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm very excited about this next quarterly report. Our Youth Council has been very busy, very active, and I'm not going to brag enough about them. I'm going to let them do that themselves. Thank you, Mayor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lexi Skorzak. I'm the chair of the Cape Coral Youth Council, and we are so happy to be here to give our final quarterly report of this term. So to start this quarterly report off, we thought since the seniors will be finishing their term next week, if we could all give a little quote of why the Cape Coral Youth Council is so important to us. So I will start off. So Youth Council has been the greatest experience I've had in the last 2 years. Through this group, I've been able to learn how to be a better leader, discover more about my city, and make so many amazing memories from our trips, create life-lasting friendships, and serve my community in as many ways as possible. I truly mean that when I say I'm so glad to be in this position, and I'm so thankful for all the opportunities this council has given me. And I'll move on to Member Salazar.
Hello, I'm Emily Salazar, and if I had to summarize my experience at the Youth Council, I'd say it has taught me that you can always keep learning and become a better person. I've gained and improved so many life skills, and I'm forever grateful for the people I've met along the way, whether it is my friends or the people up on this council. Thank you for everything.
So Member Halsey is not here, but I will read what she wrote. So to her, Youth Council has been such an eye-opening experience. Between the connections she's made in the community and the impact of the projects we have made, Youth Council was a huge opportunity that I'm so proud to be a part of and hoping future generations can carry on to continue providing for our city. Member Riley is also not here, so I once again read for her. Youth Council has been such an incredible experience for me in the last couple of years. The service projects have both made me more of my community. I've really connected with my community and been able to meet people that have truly changed my life. Member Manso Perez is also not here, so I'll read hers as well. Applying to Youth Council has been one of the best decisions I've made. Even though I've only served 1 year, I cherished every moment. Not only have I met so many amazing people, but I've decided that going into government and doing service to my community is where my heart lies. I loved every second and thank everyone in the Youth Council as well as those who have helped us.
Hello, my name is Isabella Paragonda, and if I had to sum up my experience on the Youth Council, I would say it was an honor serving on the Youth Council. I had the opportunity of serving my community while also making friends along the way. Beyond the fun and the opportunities, it is through the Youth Council that I have learned that I'm equally passionate about medicine and government, and I couldn't be more grateful. So thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Emily Fikethaler, and I have improved my teamwork, communication, and compromising from this Youth Council. The connections I have made over the past 2 years, especially this year, have made me feel welcomed and accepted, and I'm thankful for the opportunities this council has provided me, and I'm excited to see where the future takes me.
Hello, my name is Genesis Zapata Vasquez, and Youth Council has been one of the most meaningful experiences that I've had in this past year, helping me grow with more active and aware member of my community while also allowing me to explore more about my city. Sorry, excuse me. I've lived in my whole life. Through this group, I've made unforgettable memories on trips, built genuine, lasting friendships, and found so many ways to give back through service. It has opened my eyes to new opportunities within my community, like being involved in efforts to bring new lights to the local park and seeing firsthand how change can happen when people come together. At the same time, I've gained valuable insight from the community around me and taken pride in representing my school, helping more visibility to my school and on the council while setting an example of what a committed and driven student can achieve.
Hi, Council. My name is Claire Johnson, and the Youth Council has given me the opportunity to grow as a person and has helped me realize that my voice matters. Over the past 2 years, I have had the honor of planning and organizing both the junior and senior projects. Through these projects, I've been able to bring my ideas to life and help my community. I'm incredibly grateful for this opportunity and excited to continue pursuing my passion for bettering the community in the future. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about our senior project. This year, our senior project was focused on helping break the stigma surrounding mental health. A mental health questionnaire was sent to Oasis High School and received over 200 meaningful responses that we were able to present to the council, and also in a couple weeks we'll be able to present to the charter school board. All these responses are responses that are going to help better our community for mental health, and I am happy to tell you guys that just yesterday got approved to sending out a survey to the Lee County schools. So I will hopefully have some more information for you guys sooner. We are working with the Safe Promise Clubs over at the Lee County schools, and between our questions and their questions, we created a great survey that hopefully can give you guys some more responses. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Member Johnson. And then I'd also like to note we are having our very special meeting with panelists, mental health specialists, next Tuesday, April 7th, about mental health, asking more questions. So if anyone is free, we would love to have you there. And now I move on to our junior project. So on February 13th, the Youth Council hosted a movie in the park in which local youth and their family could watch Clueless. There were 4 food trucks present: Papa D's Cheesecake, Kona Ice, Pilar's Empanadas, and Dave's Neapolitan Pizza. So thank you for those companies for supporting us. We conducted a survey that provided us feedback about the event and what residents wanted to see more of in terms of entertainment. We overall got really good responses. Everyone really enjoyed the event and want to see more things like this. The money we raised from this project was used to help fund our trip to DC for the youth leaders and the NLC Congressional City Conference. We sold 82 tickets online and 33 in person, raising a total of $641 from this event alone.
We also had our Hope for the Holidays this year, and our youth council collected toys in collaboration with the Children's Network, and we had a collection boxes at the City Hall and Youth Center, and we collected over 200 toys and stocking stuffers for children ages 5 through 12.
Our school reach out program was a senior project that was started last year that we were able to finish this term. Youth council members, city council members, and staff were able to engage with the youth in our community at our local high schools in Cape Coral. This term, the school reach out program took us to Cape Coral High School as well as Mariner High School. After 2 visits to the Cape Coral High Schools, we connected with over 70 students. At Mariner, we connected with 25 students and engaged in meaningful discussions about homelessness, traffic, and food insecurity.
The next event I want to talk about was truly another great experience was when we as a youth council went to the FLC Youth Council Legislative Action Days. Member Salazar, myself, Vice Chair Brown, and Zapata Vasquez traveled to Tallahassee for the annual FLC Youth Legislative Action Days alongside over 100 other students. We had dinner with the Youth Council of Point St. Lucie, a tour of the Florida House of Representatives, and a tour of the old Capitol building, and met and spoke with our Florida State Representative, Mike Giolombardo. It was truly a really great experience.
The next trip we had was our NLC Congressional City Conference, and this is the one that we offered or that we needed donations for, and we're so glad that we were able to go on because it was overall an amazing experience. And we represented our city from March 13th to the 17th, and while in DC, we attended workshops toward the White House, toward the Capitol building, and had dinner with our lobbyist, Amanda Wood. Members were able to interact with councils from all over the nation and learn about projects they have implemented in their community.
Adopt a Road is a project that has been going on for a while for the Youth Council. The Youth Council conducts cleanups every other month on the medians and shoulders of Santa Barbara, spanning from the intersection of Pine Island Road to Tropicana Parkway. The Youth Council and Keep Lee County Beautiful Partners so our council does not have to purchase supplies to conduct these cleanups. This year, we conducted 5 Adopt a Roads. Our youth council was also nominated for the Keep Lee County Beautiful Outstanding Adoption Group Award.
Lovelock statue. So this is a project that has been in the works for a while, but this is a project that entails building a metal structure in the shape of 2 hearts where residents will be able to attach locks. Our administrative staff is working hand in hand with the Parks and Recreation Department and the City Manager's Office to collaborate on this project. We want to give a special thank you to the City Manager for donating the concrete slab for this project. And thank you to Ryan Coburn, owner/operator of Tip Top Welding, who's donating all the materials and labor for the project. And hopefully in the next couple of months, this project will be built and our citizens can be using it. And finally, our next meeting will be next Friday, April 10th, 2026. This meeting will be a lot of fun. It will be our big send-off for the seniors. And if you can join us, that would be amazing. It would be right here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chair Sorzak. I just wanted to say how proud I am of all of you. And it has been an absolute honor of my life to serve with you ladies who are now seniors and moving on and going away. How many of y'all are staying local to go to your next steps?
I will be attending the University of Florida.
Really? And the rest of you, where are you going?
At USF.
USF?
Florida International University.
IT.
I'm going to a school called Javeriana, which is located in Cali, Colombia.
In Colombia, wow. And you?
I'm undecided between Georgetown and NYU right now.
Bummer. I'm kidding.
I'm going to Florida Polytech.
Where are you going?
Florida Polytech.
Oh, great. Well, Genesis gave us a beautiful performance at the Lincoln Memorial, and she sang the national anthem and literally stopped people in their tracks with her voice. So I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, you guys make this look so easy, and I just pray that your influence and your guidance will go on to these upcoming juniors too, who are here in the audience, to get them to lead just like you did, and that you'll always be there as a resource to guide them and mentor them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say, first off, thank you for your last quarterly report before you have a kind of a changing of the guard. And to all the seniors, thank you for serving, and wish you the utmost best and success in your college days. So congratulations on the schools that you're going to, and we wish you all the best of luck. And thank you for serving all the students here in our city and throughout Lee County on the council. So thanks for all your hard work and dedication.
Thank you so much, Mayor Gunter.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I also wanted to give some kudos to Councilmember Lastra. Took the baton, took our projects from last year, kept going into this year. Great job. Administratively, there's a lot of administration that has to happen behind the scenes. So hats off to Connie Griglin, one of our administrators in council office, who handles all the behind the scenes work that has to be done administratively. And where's Tom?
Yeah, where's Miss Hayden?
Yeah, he's hiding back there in the back. Thanks to Tom Hayden for continuing to be an advisor to the group, his passion and the way he feels about having students better prepared and understand government and ready for their roads ahead of them. Hats off to Mr. Hayden as well for continuing and dedicating his time to that effort. So thank you, ladies. Great job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, we will move on to item 8D is new business. And under new business, we have, on 8A, which is the consent agenda. I'll now open up the consent agenda for any items to be pulled. I'll go to Councilmember Lehman first, since she was trying to pull some items in the beginning of the meeting. Councilmember Lehman?
Yes, I want to pull number 5, Resolution 79-26, number 8, Resolution 85-26, and number 10, 94-26. All for further discussion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Councilmember Lastra?
Oh, thank you, Mayor. Actually, Councilmember Lehman pulled mine. I wanted to also pull number 8, Resolution 85-26. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, looks like we have a total of 10 resolutions on the consent agenda tonight. Item 5, 7926, item 8, 8526, and item 10, 94-26 have been pulled. I will entertain a motion for the 7 remaining.
Motion to approve the consent agenda excluding 5, 8, and 10.
Second.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Gunter,
Aye.
Kaduk,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman,
Aye.
Long,
Aye.
Steinke,
Aye.
Donnell.
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Councilmember Lehman, I believe you pulled item number 5, 79-26. I'll give you the floor to start with.
Yes, sir. I pulled it because to start the widening of Cape Coral Parkway without the bridge being underway too, I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. I think it's just going to create chaos. We're going to end up with 6 lanes going down to 2 to get across the bridge or to be coming back. And I'm sorry, I just don't see the point in it. And I realize, yes, I was told that it would encourage the county to start doing something about the bridge. But they really, in the MPO meetings, they haven't said anything about wanting to get moving on this. So I am totally against this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll open up for any other discussion on Resolution 29-26,
7926.
7926. Seeing no other discussion, I will entertain a motion for Resolution 79-26.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Seeing no other lights on, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Gunter,
Aye.
Kaduk,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman,
No.
Long.
Aye.
Steinke,
Aye.
Donnell,
Aye.
7 ayes, 1 nay, motion carried.
Okay, move on to item number 8, which is Resolution 85-26.
Yes.
Councilmember Lehman, you pulled the item, so I give you the opportunity to start first.
Okay, I pulled 85, and I'm doing well. Excuse me a second. All right, 8520, I'm sorry,
That's all right.
8526.
That's memorializing the discussions that we had at the 2 previous committee of the whole meeting.
Yes. I pulled it because of I'm doing well, I'm sorry. The rowing club, item number 4 from February 11th. Without those stipulations, I don't think this can be approved. I have no problem with them being at Tropicana. However, the stipulations have to be there. Thank you.
So I think this particular, and I guess I'll start if you're finished and jump in.
Yeah.
My understanding of this particular resolution is to memorialize the discussion that we had in our previous committee of the whole meetings, one on February 11th, one on February 25th. Discussion you're talking about is the February 11th committee of the whole number 4, where it talks about the rowing club and what the stipulations were. The only thing that I noticed in there that I never heard the word utilized in our discussion. If you look under 4A where it says fence, it says preferable concrete fence. I never heard the word in our discussions for preferable. So that particular wording, I have a little bit of a concern with myself. It was my understanding the goal of this council was to basically have a structured type fence that was hurricane resistant that would encompass the perimeter. Now, the perimeter here is not characterized of what that size is, but if I recall correctly, it was 11,300 square feet would be the area that they would utilize. So I don't see that mentioned. So I don't know if this is just a summary, but I surely don't agree with the word preferably a concrete fence. I never heard us use the terminology preferably. And then the other thing that's not noted is the perimeter, because I think there was some discussion where they only wanted to fence in a portion of the area and not the entire 11,300 square feet that they would be allowed to utilize. So those 2 items was a concern for me as well. Councilmember Laster.
Thank you, Mayor. That's exactly where I was going. And I was actually a little excited when I saw the word preferably, only because I know after meeting and speaking with Sandra Weston, the group's leader, they don't have the money. They're not going to be able to afford. I think Councilmember Steinke brought that up in the CAL meeting. And after I reviewed their financials and have agreed to assist them with a fundraising plan, I can tell you right now, there's no way they're going to be able to afford a concrete fence. Now, they can definitely afford a chain link fence with the slats in. They could put greenery around it to make it kind of a live walls, if you will. And I know Councilmember Long brought that up in our CAL meeting about the concrete and it needing to be hurricane proof, but I am questioning that word as well, because like I said, I was excited because I know that as this stands now with the concrete fence, And looking at their current financials, they're not going to be able to afford that anytime soon. Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. City Manager, I see your light on. You want to engage in the conversation before we get too far?
I just wanted to, since this item was pulled, I was also going to indicate the administration, if this is going to pass the way it is written, to just strike the word preferably. Just leave it as concrete. We have detailed notes. The city and attorney and I went through each of your comments, what my summary was at the end. And so it is very clear direction that it wasn't preferred to be a concrete fence, that it was supposed to be a concrete fence. So we would be, I'm clearly understanding that if it's going to be a fence, based on the direction that was previously given, it has to be concrete material. And the notes that we have around the size, it was, the direction we took away was based on what they use. So if they end up only using 6,000 square feet of that space and don't need the whole thing, it could be smaller. So that was the takeaway we had on the 6. If they don't end up utilizing the entire space we have set aside.
Councilmember Steinke?
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. City Attorney, at this juncture, is it possible to remove from this summary, approve it without that component part and bring that back for reconsideration? Although it wouldn't be really reconsideration because it hasn't been voted on yet. So, but for further discussion?
So if it is the will of this body, if you so decide by a majority vote, you can remove that, approve the remaining balance, and then have it, I guess, brought back before either a regular council meeting or a committee of the whole. To answer your question, yes. But it would require a majority vote of you all to do that.
Okay. Mayor, are there any other lights on?
Yes. 2.
Okay.
Councilmember Lehman?
Yeah. I had the same question that Councilmember Stanky had. If we can pull number 4 in its entirety for further discussion, say at the COW next week, I think that would be a better situation to further examine it. I understand that the rowing club, and I have also talked to Ms. Weston, and they can't afford a concrete fence. They cannot afford it. They would have to disband the club if they were compelled to do this. And that's not completely fair. There are a lot of kids that belong to it that are getting college scholarships because of it. And why would we want to stop something like that? But I think we need to pull this for further discussion. I'm not saying the city should pay for the concrete fence, but I think we should pull this, as Councilmember Stanky said, for further discussion at the COW. Thank you.
Councilmember Long?
Yeah, I was actually just hoping to reel this back into the topic at hand. I mean, really what we see here is there's essentially what equates to a typo in the memorialization of what this council just discussed, apparently pointlessly, a couple weeks back. And that's really all that it should be. So I would make a motion to approve this with the city manager's recommendation of the removal of the word preferred.
And I'll second that motion. But with that being said, no other lights on. I think all we're doing is memorializing the discussion that took place on February 11th. That's all we are doing here today. That doesn't mean we can't put that on a committee of the whole next week and have additional discussion. So I think we have to, see exactly what the task in hand is here today. The task here today is to memorialize our discussions from those 2 committee of the wholes. That doesn't mean they're set in stone. That doesn't mean that that's the exact path that we have to go down. We could have future discussions, in my opinion, and go 180 degrees difference in some other form or fashion. So with that being said, I'll support the motion that was made by Councilmember Long, because that's exactly pretty much what we're doing, is just memorializing the conversation that we had on February 11th. Councilmember Stunkey?
Thank you, Mayor. My concern with that is what we are memorializing is a decision that we were unable to vote on because it was a cow and not a regular meeting. And what we're doing now is voting on all the decisions that were made there and actually enacting this as the way it will be. So I'm not in favor of the way that is. The cost of the fence, the situation it would put the rowing club in, I don't think was taken under full consideration from a financial point of view, or quite frankly, from a visual point of view of what that will look like, even if they had the money after that is constructed. And the view for, you lose the view of what people might have thought was an unfavorable view of equipment, but you also remove the view of the beauty of the water and the estuaries behind it. So I do believe it needs more discussion, certainly to codify what was discussed is what this motion is all about. I just can't support it with that fence issue still involved, seeing as it gets codified as to be done by approving this. I'm in favor of approving it with 4 removed. So I would have to vote against the current motion and bring forward another motion that would codify it all with the exception of number 4. Thank you.
Councilmember Long?
My only concern is the redundancy, I guess. I mean, we just had this discussion, and so when we talk about cows and their usefulness or lack of, and I won't, beat that horse, but we just had this discussion, and all the points that were just raised by Councilman Steinke, although legitimate, were all more or less discussed at that cow meeting, and I believe we spent like an hour on it. So to basically say, hey, even though these are essentially minutes from that meeting, which was less than a month ago, let's talk about it again. I don't understand that any situation has transpired between now and then that would tangibly change someone's mind. Apparently that's transpired, but if you guys thought that concrete fences were free, then I guess that's another discussion. But when you implement or decide that they're required to put a concrete fence in, generally the idea is that that's going to have some sort of expenditure associated with it. So to do a complete 180 here, when we're talking about the minutes of a meeting that happened less than a month ago with nothing happening in between, I don't know how we're expected to get anything done. But that's it. I guess we'll just carry out the motion and then we'll go from there. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Laster?
Thank you, Mayor. Just real quick, Councilmember Long, I understand what you're saying, and I knew you were going to say that. I would not support the motion as it is now. I would support it as it's written with the word preferably. Again, I understand that I don't think anyone thought that those concrete fences were free. And I didn't even think of the aesthetic piece about it until I spoke to Sandra yesterday as I was processing after our conversation. And there are, I think, prettier opportunities. So I'm not going to support the motion as it is on the floor, but I would, like Councilmember Long said, we'll call the vote and then go from there. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, and for me, like I said before, I have no problem adding this to the committee of the whole meeting next week to have further discussions. There's some more questions that I think should be answered. One of those questions that we haven't seen yet that is important to me anyway, my understanding they have about 25 members in this club. I would, Mr. City Manager, and I don't know if we've ever received this type of information, but I would like to see if we have further discussions on this, whether it's next week or any time in the future, exactly how many members are we talking about? How many of those members are Cape Coral residents? This is a city park that was paid for by city tax dollars. My understanding, we made some changes to the park to already accommodate the rowing club. We had to purchase, I believe, 2 other properties. We had to make a change with the design. So we've already spent hundreds of thousands of dollars for this particular venue for the rowing club. So I want to see exactly how many people are Cape residents, how many people we are talking about as far as membership. You know, we've spent a lot of money so far. We're talking about altering our city park. I know I've received many emails that are not in favor of the residents who live in the area of the rowing club being here. I would like to possibly have a discussion to explore other areas that may be available. My understanding, there's a few other options out there on the table that we didn't talk about before that could possibly take care of this issue. And so I have no problem having additional discussions, but I will support the motion on the floor just because all we're doing is memorializing the discussion on February 11th. And if a majority of council here tonight want to add the item to next week's committee of the whole, we can do that and direct the city clerk to do exactly that. And we can expand upon this discussion then. Councilmember Kilrain.
Yeah, I hadn't spoken on this, so I just would mention that I would like to memorialize what we did say in the CAL, and then bring it forth in the next CAL to further discuss, because I think that there are other opportunities we can take advantage of new information that would shed some light on this to further refine our decisions. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Lehman.
Yeah, I have talked to Sandra Weston from the Rowing Club. And yes, I've never been able to find out exactly how many of the members are, and the kids are, Cape Coral residents. But not only that, I have talked to them about alternatives in terms of the reservoir. And no, they want Tropicana Park. Basically, that's what she's told me. Now, I don't know if she's told Council Member Lastford something different. But I can't vote for this with number 4 in there.
Okay. Councilmember Stein.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. With the commitment to add it to next week's COW, I can change my vote and support of this motion strictly for the purpose of memorializing what was done in that meeting. But I, like Councilmember Kilrain and a couple others that have spoken, would want to bring it up in the next COW to give further consideration to it with new information gathered. Thank you.
Same. Yes, sir.
Well, before we vote on it, let's make sure for the people that would like to talk about this possibly next week, let's see if there's a consensus by council to add that item to next week's committee of the whole. That may make a decision for you how you want to vote on this motion one way or the other. So why don't we address that real quickly? Councilmember Donnell, you good with that? Good?
Good.
I'm good with it.
I'm okay.
No.
All right. So it looks like 6 are okay to at least have a discussion. Don't know if that'll change the outcome, but we'll add that, Madam City Clerk, please. I think we're already talking about the Dragon Club or something very similar that one of, so, you know, I think that could almost be in parallel, those two topics. So with that being said, Councilmember Lastra, any other comments? And I see no other lights on. With that being said, we have a motion, a second on the floor. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Gunter,
Aye.
Kaduke,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman,
Aye.
Long,
Aye.
Steinke,
Aye.
Donnell. 8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, with that being said, we will move on to the next item, which I believe is item number 10, 94-26. Councilmember Lehman, you pulled that item as well, so I'll turn it over to you to start with.
All right. The reason I wanted it pulled is because we're talking about establishing a building industry committee with the Lee BIA. But what about the CCCIA? I think it has to be basically a working situation with both groups. That's why I asked to have it pulled.
Okay, thank you. I got a couple other lights on, Mr. City Manager, if you maybe want to elaborate why we find ourselves here today, and then I'll open it up for the other remaining council members.
Sure, the council's okay with it.
Everybody okay with that?
Yeah, so as you all know, that for the past 4 or 5 months, I've been meeting with staff every day, tearing through permits, tearing through processes, and working to improve everything we have permitting and building department-wise. In addition to that, I want to say about a year ago, staff started inviting the Lee BIA to meetings that we were having in order to get expanded optics into what is happening around Lee County in different jurisdictions. And so this MOU is to formalize an agreement with them to begin a partnership with the Lee BIA so that they can work with our staff on all things related to the industry. There's a lot of contractors who do business in the city that don't, their headquarters is not in the city, but they still pull permits. They also pull permits outside of the city. And so this will give us greater optics into what we're doing, allow us to do comparative analysis as opposed to contacting all the other agencies. The Lee BIA already gets them. They're already working with all the other agencies in the county. And so this will allow us to work collaboratively with them to do better for our residents, our businesses, and the owners that are pulling permits in Cape Coral. Thank you.
Councilmember Lastra.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. City Manager, don't we have a similar ordinance as well with the CCCIA from like the early 2000s, mid 2000s?
There is an MOU with the CCCIA for an oversight committee that the CCCIA has. This one is more of a collaboration. It's not oversight. It's what can we do better? What are other things doing? How do our numbers compare? We're looking to expand like I said, our optics into everything.
Right, and I have absolutely no issue with that. Both organizations are respected. You know, they're both managing and handling the builders who do business within our city. So I don't have an issue with that. Do we do our regular meetings with the CCCIA for these oversight committee? Like, when are they supposed to happen?
I can get you that information. I would prefer this discussion is about an agreement with the BIA.
I just want to, I guess, for the public, like, point out maybe the differences.
Yeah,
more
I'll get
so
you.
than-
I can get you all that information. But staff still has those building industry oversight committee meetings.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Kilrain.
Yeah, I see this as an enhancement to what we're already doing now with the CCCIA. I think that the objective is to gain a better understanding of how to progress through and work with the city on all types of permits and projects. And I know that we're not exclusive to the CCIA with respect to just local contractors. I think the BIA is a good expansion of that with the primary objective to improve both conditions and it'd be a win-win for everyone. To the extent that, we continue the relationship with CCCI, support that. I think that has been some abrasion in the past with that, and I think we can overcome it. I think it's going to take a little bit of work to understand how to better and more smoothly cooperate and collaborate on that. But I'm all for making sure that we move it forward in a positive direction. I think that's what we all support up here. So I see this as an enhancement, and I look for it to be a cooperative effort with the BIA, and I look for it to be also a continued cooperative effort with the CCCIA. And I don't think that that's wanting both and not getting either. I think it's getting both and looking forward to participation and a good relationship into the future. And I think that any issues that have occurred in the past are overcomable. I know that just my participation in some of the CCCIA activities, they brought in a lot of county people a lot of times. And I think this is an expansion of that and helpful to everyone involved. So I would support this. Thank you.
Councilmember Kadoud.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm a member of both, and both have similar information but widely different. So my understanding of this is that we are, and Mr. City Manager, maybe you can help. We could look at Sanibel's doing it this way, and maybe you could do it that way. We're looking to collaborate with how other municipalities, and maybe even because the Lee BIA works with even Hendry County and other counties as well, how we can improve. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
So I will be supporting this. Thank you.
Councilmember Long.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to try to figure out here the why. We already work with, and Mike had said, we already work with this organization regularly. In fact, I commend the Lee BIA. They do good work, and I've, for the duration of my term, worked with Mr. Ford and the Lee BIA, and it's my understanding that staff has discussions with them regularly. So I just want, I need, I guess, clarification on what we're really trying to memorialize here. I mean, it seems kind of like a lot of fluff, and I just don't understand. We're already doing these things. We already collaborate with the Lee BIA. We have discussions. They provide us their feedback. We provide them ours. Why we would need to voluntarily enter into this agreement when these things are already in fruition, and then, you know, needlessly, in my opinion, kind of put our neck in a guillotine with regards to having some sort of MOU that says effectively what we're already doing. Can you kind of elaborate on what this does that's going to make things different than the collaboration that we've had with the Lee BIA for several years?
When what you've been doing isn't working, you need to change. We are trying to find a way to do something different here.
But what is the something? I mean, we already work with them, right? We're sharing information. They're opining on.
We don't. We've been inviting them to meetings. We don't have a formal relationship like this with them. It's been informal at staff to BIA.
And so this formalizes and requires meetings. Is that what?
Yes, it allows them to establish a committee within the Lee BIA of Cape.
Well, yeah, but that's their business. I mean, we're basically saying we're acknowledging that
we will then have meetings specifically with those people to share data and information.
Okay, well, I mean, like we've all set up here, CCCIA, of course, there's no exclusivity with them. They do great work as well. I think both organizations, you know, they have different data, they represent different areas and industries, and some overlap, but they do a majority of the same work. And so it's my understanding that they've both worked collaboratively with the city. So my hesitation here is the optics, right? Because Lee BIA has been around for decades. I've worked with them my entire term here. And now all of a sudden, a couple months after the CCCIA has initiated an audit against our building department, we decide that we want to enter into a formal agreement with the Lee BIA, who we already work with on a routine basis. I don't like how that looks, and I certainly hope that's not the case. But for that reason, I'm going to vote no. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Kilgreen.
Yeah, I don't see it at the exclusion of the CCCIA. We have a relationship with the CCCIA, an ongoing relationship, and I see that being enhanced by this. And I think that any issues that have occurred with respect to the audit or any other things, I think that they can be overcome, and it's a matter of working through those issues. And I think that that's not the crux to the problem here. I think the crux of the problem is making sure that we broaden the audience of understanding and relationship development, both throughout the county and through the city. And in that process, learn some maybe new enhancements that we could apply to the whole process. And education is what it's all about, making it a utility function with all of the groups that are out there from a contractor standpoint is important. So that to the matter of being able to facilitate that, build upon it, and, you know, bring both groups along, I have no problem with that. And I think it's an enhancement on what we're doing. And that's why I'm looking at strongly supporting this. Thank you.
Councilmember Lehman.
Yes, why not just in this resolution 9426, list both groups? That we're working with both groups, it's memorialized with both groups, the CCCIA and the Lee BIA.
Mayor, that wouldn't be proper.
Yeah, that's not what's before us here today.
I'm sorry, it wouldn't be proper to dump in CCCIA within an MOU that's expressly for Lee BIA.
Okay.
All right, Councilmember Long.
Yeah, just really briefly, that question alone, certainly something we can't do, but that just speaks to my point, which I kind of got away from, which is the messiness of entering into an agreement and figuring out, well, this is what this is, or how is this interpreted? For example, they refer in the agreement to confidential information. Well, I'd love to have another conversation about what that means, but for the sake of everyone's sanity, we won't. But if we're already doing these things, we are. I don't know how else you want to dress it up. We're communicating with these organizations routinely. Why put it in writing and then, have to go through, eyeball people know, the legalese of what we're really saying in this, what we're not, whether we said we were going to enter into agreements. We just have a good faith relationship with both entities and we move forward in that fashion. I mean, this is really saying some other organization is creating a subcommittee, and that committee is going to work with the state or the city collaboratively to further both parties' understandings of how we can move forward and improve on our methods. So why we need that in writing, I don't know. It creates more of an issue and a headache for the city than I think it needs to be, because if we say no to this, that doesn't halt any improvement or progress, and then it leaves out the messiness of a contract. That's my understanding of how I see this going. But that's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Steinke.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I think one of the optics that this does in a positive way is it lets the contractors of Cape Coral know that the city has an amenable relationship with the county and the county's perspective on building practices and whatnot. And so it would define the fact that we not only will rely upon our city industry consultants, let's call it that, and the leaders of the membership that they belong to at the city, but that we also would support them being involved with the county as far as a support organization as well, and that we're not just turf guarding, but we're actually reaching out to how other surrounding areas do it as well, because many of those contractors do business in those other locales throughout the county and in cross counties. And so many of those contractors have had concerns that, hey, how come we can do it this way in this city, but we can't do it this way in Cape Coral? And so to if you will, memorialize the fact that we're interested in how they do it in the other cities and open to that, I think it serves that purpose from an optic standpoint as well. So I'll be in favor of it.
Councilmember Kilrain.
Yeah, and just to reflect a little bit along what Member Steinke had said, I too feel that way, and I don't think it's done in a manner as punishment to CCIA. And Wade, yeah, I know you're sitting there listening closely. I look to the future to build that relationship further and solidify it, as I do with the BIA too. And I think we can enhance all vendor relationships through that process. I think that the reason that maybe this was formalized, although I haven't heard it, directly from city manager, but I can maybe prospect that it was probably done in a manner to make it a more routine relationship. I know it wasn't very routine in the past and not all that formalized. We do have a formal process with CCCIA, and I think that works well. And it may have had some bumps, but we're going to work forward into the future to overcome those bumps and get that bias. I sat in a panel recently, and on that panel, we had county people, and Cape Coral was compared to the county people. So there's no doubt that our contractors are looking at the county relationship with other contractors, and let's formalize it. Let's make sure that we're adapting those things that make sense for us to adapt, that are working well in other places, and or share our good things with them too. So I think that it helps. It's just a positive indication going forward that we're all looking for the right things and better things in the future. And that, again, that's why I support it. So thank you.
Councilmember Long.
Well, just one final point again, before we go down this road. I 100% support the lead BIA. I support CCCIA. I'm not picking one side or the other. In fact, I pretty publicly beat up the CCCIA when we talked about mobility fees. But I'm just, my point here is trying to make things run more efficiently. And this seems like it slows things down. So we had a discussion before this council about volunteer committees. And one of the hangups was it was an additional part of the process that we had to go through in order to, before it came to council. And so, for example, here in the agreement, it says, to the extent practicable, the city may provide the association with notice and opportunity for comment on proposed amendments to building codes, development standards, fees, and permitting or inspection processes that materially affect the building industry. Well, again, because it's in writing rather than just informally like it's always been, now, you know, we are subjected potentially to a gripe from them that we put something forward that we didn't pass it by them, or we didn't, and I understand it says to the extent practicable, but what does that mean? So then are we going to then be fielding inquiries about what the definition is of that in an agreement? I mean, the purpose of the intent of the agreement can be carried out without the agreement. It has been for decades. So if you want to say, well, this makes us have meetings, well, then just schedule the meetings. Why are we subjecting ourselves to additional scrutiny and contract interpretation when we don't need to be? This is the way that it's been for decades. Is we work with the building industry, we work with CBI.
This will be your only warning, just so you know.
So that's all I'm trying to do is operate efficiencies. I don't have a problem against LBA. I work well with them. It's just I don't want to put us in a position where we're fielding inquiries from the LBA because we said we would send them to the extent practicable any amendments, and for efficiency we just push it through, and now here we are violating an agreement that, in my opinion, we don't need to enter into to achieve that same purpose. That's the last I'm going to speak on it, but that's hopefully that encapsulates what my point is that I've tried now to get across the last couple of times. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Kilrain.
Yeah, City Manager, just clarify the term committee in here as you perceive it. And I don't think they were looking at treating each organization any different than we normally would going forward. And maybe you can comment on that, how you feel about that.
This MOU stands alone from another one we have. So rhetorically, if you don't support this one, then you don't support the other one. We don't need either of them. This is meant to establish a formal relationship and let the Lee BIA know that we support them establishing a committee of Cape Coral businesses to work with the community to help us, but those businesses also work outside of the city. We're trying to get better every day. Everything that I advance every single day is to do better. We're going to be the best. We are, if we're not already the best right now. And I need an organization that is going to stand side by side with my staff, dig in, and tell that story.
And
you all know this is. I mean, you all know that this is it. What we have been doing is not working. It's just that simple.
What is that?
And that's not to the detriment of CCCIA, which we've been doing with
CCCIA is still going to exist. There's nothing nothing that we do can impact that. That's their organization. They still exist outside of this.
And there's no effort in this to minimize their involvement in the city. No intent to minimize the discussion and openness that we have with the CCCI and the opportunity to work with them. There's no intent of that in this in the long term or the short term. So I just want to make that clear for the CCCIA that's out there. This is done in a manner to look at enhancing things. And I think that's the focus. So thank you, Mayor.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for Resolution 94-26 since we have no more lights on.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any other council discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Gunter,
Aye.
Paduk,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman,
No.
Long,
No.
Steinke,
Aye.
Donnell. 6 ayes, 2 nays, motion carried.
Okay, move on to item 8B is appointments to boards and committees. B1 is approval for sunsetting the Charter Review Commission. I believe that commission was approved by either ordinance or resolution. No?
Neither.
Neither?
Neither. It was just established by the council's action during a regular council meeting and the special council meeting identifying who's going to be selected for the board. So by its own operation, there will be a motion and a second and then voted upon by you all. And that'll be sufficient for them to sunset.
Okay. So you're looking, since we are sunsetting, of course, the work of the Charter Review Commission is complete, and that's why we're sunsetting.
That is correct, because everything that we've done at this point in time was really targeted at the 2026 general and primary election. We're going to have new council members. So the next opportune time would be for the 2028. So at that point in time, I would suspect it'd be prudent for you all to identify a brand new charter commission.
Okay. So with that being said, I'll entertain a motion for approving or disapproving, wherever the motion goes, on sunsetting the Charter Review Commission.
Should really
Motion
be
to sunset.
As of,
immediately.
As of today.
All right, so we have a motion and the second agrees with the timeframe? Yeah. All right. Seeing no lights on, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Gunter,
Aye.
Paduk,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman, Long, Steinke,
aye.
Janelle. 8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, next item on the agenda, 9C is unfinished business. We have follow-up items for council. There's none listed. Follow-up items for city management, none listed. Item 9D, which was the Youth Council quarterly report, we moved up earlier in the agenda. Item 9 is ordinances and resolution. 9A is quasi judicial hearings. There's none listed. Item 9B is legislative public hearings. There's none listed. Move on to 9C is going to be the last call for comment cards for people who wish to participate in citizens input. Item 9D is introductions, and we'll move on to ordinance 16-26. Madam City Clerk, please read title, set the public hearing date.
Ordinance 16-26, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Cape Coral, Florida, that amends the city of Cape Coral, Florida official zoning district map of all property within the limits of the city of Cape Coral by rezoning property described as a parcel of land located within lots 20 and 21, block 163, Cape Coral, unit 3, as more particularly described herein, from residential multifamily low to professional zone, property located at 124 Cape Coral Parkway West, providing for severability and an effective date. The public hearing will be April 15th, 2026.
Any discussions by staff or council? Seeing none, we'll move on to ordinance 18-26. Madam City Clerk, please read title, set the public hearing date.
Ordinance 18-26, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Cape Coral, Florida, amending City of Cape Coral Ordinance 3-26, which amended Ordinance 50-25, which adopted the City of Cape Coral operating budget, revenues and expenditures, and capital budget for fiscal year 2026 by increasing the total revenues and expenditures by a total of $11,323,646, providing for severability and an effective date. The public hearing will be April 15th, 2026.
Any discussion by staff or council? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 10, is citizens input. Citizens are given the opportunity to be heard concerning matters scheduled on the consent agenda or any other matters pertinent to the city in order to promote an orderly system and hold a public business meeting and to ensure the individuals are not embarrassed or harassed as a result of the exercise of right of free speech. The city has established rules that must be followed. These rules are identified as council rules of procedures, which were established and adopted by a resolution by the Cape Coral City Council. Speaker is always required to maintain proper decorum. Only a person recognized by the mayor should address the city council or make audible remarks during the business portion of the meeting. Speakers shall address their comments to the city council as a whole, not as an individual council member or city staff or any member of the audience. No person shall make any personal or profane remarks or gestures, unauthorized remarks, stomping of feet, whistling, or similar demonstration shall not be permitted during the business meeting. No person is permitted to interrupt the city council proceedings or the comments of any person recognized by the mayor in any manner. No person is permitted to behave in a disorderly manner by shouting, yelling, whistling, chanting, singing, dancing, clapping, foot stomping, cheering, jeering, or engage in any other disruptive display during the city council business meeting. No person can display banners, place cards, or sign. No person can distribute any handouts or materials to any members in the audience within City Hall. No person is permitted to refuse to follow the instructions. And if they fail to comply with these policies and rules, they could be asked to leave the council chambers. Any person who does not follow these rules could be asked to leave council chambers, and if they fail to do so, could be escorted by the police department. There are the rules that apply during the meeting. I ask please that we adhere to those rules, and we will get through all the speakers that wish to participate in citizens' input. Madam City Clerk, go ahead and start.
Embry Croup, Sean Ahead, Samuel Sayers, and Philip Stella.
Hold on, let's make sure that's working. Could you kind of talk real closely to it first? I don't think it's working. Hold on a second, let's make sure. No. And before we get started, I just wanted to make sure, I may have forgot to mention on citizens input. Citizens input is 3 minutes per individual for a total of 60 minutes pertaining to matters on city government. Please remember to state your name for the record. Go ahead, sir. Hold on, we got another one. There we go.
Hello, members of the City Council. First off, I would like to introduce us. My name is Embry. This is my friend Sean, my friend Sam, and PJ. I would like to thank you for your dedicated work that has bettered our community. My team and I are here today to express our concern for the many people who have been in car crashes at the intersection of Embers Parkway and El Dorado Boulevard South. Many residents of Cape Coral have been in crashes or have had family members get injured at this intersection. We would like you to please assign the City Transportation Advisory Committee, otherwise known as CTAC, to please install a traffic light at the Embers Parkway and El Dorado Boulevard South intersection.
The absence of a stoplight has been a hindrance to the citizens of Cape Coral, resulting in crashes and even deaths. It all started with 15 crashes in 2021. In 2022, however, it rose to 17 crashes. The trend then continued in 2023, and then later spiked and tripled in 2024. Evidently, not having a stoplight can cause trauma and has for the great citizens of Cape Coral, Florida. Thank you.
In order to reach our goal of getting this light installed, we are raising awareness in local neighborhoods by placing informational posters about introducing this new stoplight. People have already been working on this project, and we wish to spread the word about it. We hope that the members of the council will concur with us and also allocate funds towards the making of the stoplight.
We request that you further take into consideration the people that have been injured or even killed at this intersection. Furthermore, we respectfully urge you to create a stoplight at the intersection of Embers Parkway and El Dorado South. Thank you for your time today and for working diligently on making Cape Coral a great place to live.
Thank you. Please, no applause.
Thomas Senator, and Kyle Lahamadou.
Good afternoon, Council. Thomas Senator, District 1. I was contacted by John and Natalie Quinn at 2006 Southwest 47th Street. They live on a canal right across from Slipaway. They've been very concerned about the noise coming from there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they said that they have a decibel reader that's in excess of 80 decibels. So I was hoping that maybe you guys can look into this, find out what's going on, and maybe find a way to lower it. They sent me recordings of it with their doors closed, and it was very loud. So that's really bad nuisance, and we should really be allowing for quiet enjoyment throughout the city. I have another question regarding our 250-foot flagpole. If we have the FAA approval yet, or are we going to wait till after it gets started? Has anybody done a soil test to determine the exact depth we need to go? Last I heard it was like 40 feet deep. And this morning we had the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. We had our liaison there. It was great to have them there. And I brought up a point because we have an ordinance, which I didn't realize, which was ordinance 21-26 regarding garage sales. They're only allowing 3 days of garage sales per 30 days. So if you have a garage sale and you go Monday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you got to wait 30 days from that Sunday. And if you have another one within those 30 days, you're going to get hit with a $250 a day fine. That's for your first offense. And on your second offense, it's going to be $500 a day. And if they find that you're there without a permit, then they've authorized the Cape Coral Police Department to arrest the people on site if they don't shut it down. So we asked our liaison to actually bring it to you guys to consider, but I wanted to bring it to you now since I'm here. And the last thing is the Cape Coral Community Fridge. We had a really good turnout the last meeting where a lot of people came, and apparently the city officials or the department heads paid attention. Hopefully the council told somebody to go and do something, but they had a meeting this week, and I just want to let you know that they did come by and was very positive, and we actually came to an agreement where we can do an enclosure, so the Cape Coral Community Fridge will be staying in place. So just want to let you know that, and thank you so much.
Kyle Amadou, District 7. I want to talk about the flagpole again first. Councilmember District 1, you were big supporting of this flagpole, and I'm just curious, what is your statement to the veterans who are opposed to the flagpole, who have publicly stated it in this very room and throughout the community? So I'm just curious if you want to make a statement on that. Then I got some insider information, and again, we've talked about it in this room. Where are any city funds currently being spent on the flagpole project, right? Well, I have it on good authority that an employee was moved out of a department to actually go to work on this project. And we may or may not have documentation about that already. So I'm just curious if you guys want to speak on the record about that. Then we're going to go into Melissa Mickey, who is the communications director, I believe. Are you gabbling? You're not gabbling. What are you doing?
You can't identify specific city staff or specific city
Oh, I
staff.
can't?
So
What ordinance states that?
so-
Is it the same stupid one with the logo?
So just make it generally and say communications.
Okay, well, there we go. So, and I'm going to keep my tone down because we have children in the room, but last week, somebody said a-hole in this room. And somebody came screaming out about FCC rules. Well, I want to tell you, FCC rules do not apply. They do not apply to this meeting. It is not broadcast over general networks. And do you know how I know? I called the FCC and they laughed. So again, if we're going to talk about things, especially from a city employee whose job it is to know these things, they need to know this. This is absolutely ridiculous. So now let's go back to the ordinance on the city's logo, because apparently we have a lot of stupid ordinances in this city. It's going to get you arrested for your garage sale. So the city's logo, okay? Has anybody responded to that letter? I assume not. We all know what letter I'm talking about. And I'm curious what each of you have to say about the letter that was received. Thank you.
Don Hazlett, and Marie Kavanaugh.
Over here, sir. Over here, sir. Sir, we're over here at the podium. Sir, over here at the podium. Over here at the podium. Sir, I'm only going to tell you, please go over to the citizens' input.
I didn't listen to your words.
Yeah. Go over there.
Why our city council doesn't care about murder, premeditated murder, assaulting your citizens, using the police force to intimidate a citizen. Any of you guys got anything to say about that? You can stare at me all you want, homeboy. I ain't scared of none of you. You see anybody scared? I'm not. You guys are out of your goddamn minds. I'm coming for all of your jobs, okay? Hold on to them.
Next.
Fucking cowards. That's all you are.
Marie Kavanaugh.
Hey, Mayor, this is for you.
At least I know I'm number one.
All right, we all calm down now. My name is Marie Kavanaugh, and I'm secretary of the Take Out the Trash Committee of Cape Coral, proudly. First of all, I have a records request that is overdue. It's 26 days today. And it's something that our city manager should have right at his fingertips. And that number is R108-670-030526. Okay, and then I also gave the clerk these to pass out to you. This is the third time I have submitted this since March 4th. And I would like answers. And in fact, the last 2 weeks, I indicated whose responsibility it is to respond to these questions. Records requests can't do it because they're questions. They don't answer questions. And let me tell you, I did a little investigation on the FAA. Being a pilot, man, I called up, I got hold of the division that handles I believe it's FAA Form 7460-1, which is supposed to be submitted before construction begins on the height, anything that exceeds 200 feet. Doesn't matter if it's in the middle of Death Valley. You have to fill out one of these forms if whatever you're putting up is more than 200 feet. They don't give you an approval, they give you a determination. Yes, it's going to be an obstacle, or no, it's not going to be an obstacle. And FAA doesn't work quickly. So you might want to look into that, and you better not start construction beforehand, because they already notified me if you do to contact them immediately, and I will do that. So, I mean, I don't know if he's already applied for that, but I would like an answer tonight as to whether or not he applied for the FAA approval. I would also like to know where the heck the drawings are for this thing. I haven't seen any drawings. I've requested drawings. I have no idea what it's going to look like. Is it going to look like a minion with a flagpole sticking out of its head? I don't know. We don't have the drawings. And how you all can approve this thing without that defies logic.
Lisette Fiallo and Julia Atari.
Hi to everybody. I'm Lisette Fiallo. I'm here because everybody knows we are misrepresented from everybody there. You know, I'm here to claim my ERA, Equal Rights Amendment. Why? If Richard came to my home, touched my door, you renting your Airbnb less 6.9, and I paid $305 in the code. Why? When I go to the Airbnb platform, homes, a lot of homes, the home renting 6.9, less 6.9, and nothing happened. in the Airbnb platform. What is the racist with me? Why, Rachel, you saying to me?
Sir, ma'am, you have to identify, we've told you this.
District
We've
7.
told you this time and
District 7.
time
Last
again
lady.
that you have to
Excuse me,
address-
my time is count.
Ma'am,
Last lady.
If you're not going to abide by the rules, we'll ask you to
Put me
leave.
in the
You have to address
in
this
the
as a
social media
council.
that I have to call the 311. No, I don't have to call 311.
Turn the
I am
mic
not
off,
working
please.
people.
Turn the mic off.
I am not working people. Then Miller has to do the same rule for everybody in this city. It is racist with me, okay? Because in my neighborhood,
Point of order.
Can
we call point of order, Mayor?
Nothing. It is racist.
Ma'am,
Harassment
ma'am,
by the police.
we've told you this.
I don't finish my 3 minutes yet. It is by the police.
You get 3 minutes as long as you follow the rules.
The police department says they cannot do nothing because the boss here is Mayor de Gonte. Okay? This is racist and this is
Ma'am, your citizen's input is over. Officer, could you escort her out?
I'm sorry. What respect, my educada.
Yep.
Let me say my stuff, please. They don't listen nothing. They don't care nothing. It is racist and people in this city. Racist with Latin people. Racist.
Hold on a second. Could you turn the mic back on, please? Thank you. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sorry, take out the trash, Cape Coral. Okay, so she did it. She changed my whole speech. What I wanted to talk about is the legality of what's going on. And thank God we have another attorney that actually sits up on the dais and is getting it. Okay? The flagpole was illegal. I don't care what you say, what you do. You're using city property and you never brought it to the city. There's legal repercussions for what you're doing. Making a contract with the BIA, hey, I've been a member for years. It's a private club. There was absolutely zero reason to make a contract with a private club. They don't have every citizen in their club. They're not invited to their club. It's a private entity. And the fact that they did just endorse the mayor red flags me here a little bit. That should never have happened. BIA, yes. So I don't know what to tell you guys. I talk to you, I listen to you, but it's not getting through. We're gonna have to go the legal route because you're just doing shit you're not supposed to do. That flagpole is now on city property. You made an agreement with him. You gave him city land. You didn't bring it to the people. You didn't ask the citizens what they want. And this whole nonsense, and he's shaking his head over there, Santa, but all the crap that's going on, you don't even want to look into it. You're like a bunch of ostriches with your head in the ground. Start looking at this stuff. Wonder why we do everything on a consent agenda. Why are we backdooring into everything? It's getting out of hand. And I hope to God this audit does some work for us. Because I'm writing again. I'm driving to Tallahassee. I'm done. This is out of hand. You guys just do whatever you want up there. You just don't look into anything. You're not researching. And unless you start researching the rights of the people, you're just going to bury this city. Financially, you're burying us, but also legally, you're burying us. It has to stop. And he does whatever he wants because he thinks he's got the protection of the lawyer. That lawyer works for the city, by the way. You hired him, you gave him a ridiculous contract, and you could fire him. And I'm suggesting you do so. Thank you.
Ann Birchtold and Tom Shadrack.
Ann Birchtold, Cape Coral, take out the trash. You know, over the period of the last, I don't know, 12 months or so, I've been thinking back to the council elections, and particularly to the 5 council members who were elected. Do you ever think about the pledges that you made to the city, to the residents? Do you ever think about those? So here's some of the pledges. I mean, they're top in my mind. Number 1, abolish the stipend. You did that the first night. That was awesome. And you set a track record in place. And we got excited because you were there. But that was it. The excitement was done. Over and gone. So the other thing was to reinstate all the citizen boards. What happened to those citizen boards? They did all the background work. They were volunteers. They came in because they wanted to give to the city. Oh, they're gone. I guess there was too much for them to see, maybe. And then the other pledge that you all made, we got excited about this one, was to rein in the spending of the city. JC Park, the yacht club, what is it up to now? 350 million, 375 million. I mean, I could go on, but you have a responsibility. You were elected based on some of the promises you made. Maybe you just talked out of the left-hand side of your mouth. I don't know. But we got excited when you abolished the stipend. We thought you really meant it. You can change that. You can change the trajectory. You can.
Hello, Tom Shadrack, permanent resident, Cape Coral. I want to talk about what I think is a systemic problem that we have in this city. You guys all kind of ran on your position of being fiscally conservative. I'd kind of like to challenge that a little bit based on what happened last week in the meeting. You guys all approved Park 2224 in the Northeast 15th Street for a design of $434,000 and $800. A very small postage stamp size park up in the Northeast. A couple of you did challenge that at the beginning, but then you all unanimously voted on it. The design budget for that park was $315,000. A 38% increase is what you approved. No one even challenged that. Why is this costing 38% more than what's in the budget? And this was to a sole source vendor. You could have pushed back and said, go back and get it down, descope it down to the 315 budget. But what was worse then, it's kind of implied, well, that 438 means that's about 10% of the budget of what a park will cost. So now they're out there going to go and design a park for $4.3 million. The budget for that park is $3,150,000. Over $1 million increase is what's now been given to this contractor to go design a park, more than the budget. We got to hold these budgets and accountability. You didn't give any type of direction to say, go back, get this back in line with what we budgeted. We don't even know what this is going to be at this park yet, but you certainly could have given a guideline to go back into the budget. Now, then I started looking at it a little more with math. Houses, new houses, and it was kind of said that's why people changed their mind. Well, it's the impact fees that paid for it. Growth pays for growth. There was budget from the impact fees to cover it. I started doing math. I go, a neighborhood park, maybe at the most 300-400 houses at $1,000 or so of impact fees. That's only, less than $500,000 to build that park for the residents in that area. It would take 4,000 homes to come up with $4 million to build a neighborhood park for the price you guys are wanting to build them at. How is that fiscally conservative and no pushback? Not one we've got bigger priorities than that neighborhood park, such as Lake Mead, which is right next to it, way over budget. Just some thoughts. Thank you.
Bob Ritchie.
Mr. Ritchie?
That's the last of the comment cards.
Okay, citizens input is now closed. I'll open up for council discussion on citizens input. Councilmember Donnell.
Hey, thank you, Mayor. To the young man, I thought one of them left. Thank you all for bringing that forward. And would you have some data with you, and your presentation was eloquent. We would definitely be looking into that. And I would just say, I get accused a lot of times of preaching up here, but I'm just kind of pointing it out that that's the gateway to our city. And all we're asking is we are presenting to the world. People across the world are watching, but in this case, listening. And all I continue to say is, and I try to lead by example, is if you have some concerns, to do them in a way that is respectful and that little children, young children, can listen to it and understand it. This right here is embarrassing, the way some people present their cases, point blank. There's no way around it. And all I'm asking you to do is to be more respectful, use better language. We don't need to be cursing. The idea, I think someone mentioned, do we need a law to tell people not to call people a-holes in a public forum where children are watching? You might think so. I don't hold that same. I hold each of us, starting with me, at a greater standard. And that really, folks, is what's going on right now. It's just angry, just fight. So for those of you all out here who are really don't participate on that type, know that we're working hard. We'll continue to work hard. I'm glad to hear about the food pantry. And yes, thank you for staff for getting out there the fridge. Those of you all that went, there's a lot of good things going on. So understand there's a lot more going on than when you hear this, but it's on the record. So again, I will end by saying again, this right here is a gateway to our city. People across the world see it. And I'm asking you to take a look at that pledge that you look at. How are you presenting yourself? Because you, like ourselves, are ambassadors of the city. And I'll leave it there. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Lassiter.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say thank you to the young man who came and spoke. Your parents have raised strong, good kids, so I'm proud of you. In terms of that street light, I don't see Mr. Corbett here. He could probably explain. So we will make a commitment, those of us that are on CTAC, which is our Transportation Advisory Committee for Cape Coral, and we will bring that up during our next CTAC meeting. And then if you young men put email addresses, we can email you back and let you know like the follow-up on that. But I'm very proud of you and thank you for bringing that to our attention. Yes. Let's see, Mr. Senator, yes. Ms. Lopez and I took a ride last Friday to find a potential alternate location, and we don't need it. So I want to say thank you to staff, thank you to Todd Hoagland and our planning department who attended that meeting with you, Ms. Lopez. Those drawings you showed me were absolutely beautiful, so I'm glad that it worked out. And I will continue to donate to that fridge, and I promise you I will have my contacts throughout the county when we have overflow, and they have overflow, to bring it to that fridge. So I'm just grateful it worked out. And that everybody, as you said, Mr. Senator, was positive. So thank you. Let's see. With the flagpole, just in general, we just approved that. That was just approved by the majority of council last week. So I believe design plans and the FAA study, Mr. City Manager, that all comes after, correct? I mean, can you give us a little bit of a timeline on that?
Well, we're still planning to be up by July 4th.
Okay, great. And but what I'm asking you, I guess, Mr. City Manager, is in terms of the things that some of the residents have mentioned and emailed to us about the FAA approval, all of that will come now, right? That the majority of council approved it?
That was all work that the contractor will be performing as part of their contract. FAA approval is already done.
Okay, great. And then
Design work is already underway.
Okay, perfect. So you're saying design work's underway but not completed, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
They have to do, they're doing borings, they're doing survey work. It's going to follow the same path as every other project. So
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that for the public. Let's see. Ms. Toll, thank you for speaking. Reining in spending, absolutely. We have not voted or finalized anything regarding the yacht club. We all think that there are better opportunities for that in terms of the spending and the current potential price tag, but nothing's been finalized. So please know that. And I think just based on conversations we've had previously, that the majority of us also want to see something different, potentially scaled back. We didn't get any RFPs. We didn't get any individuals bidding for it. So we definitely need to go back to the drawing board. So thank you for bringing that up. Let's see. And I think that's it. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Lehman.
Yeah. Mr. Senator, the every 30-day garage sale, that code has been around for a very long time. That was around 10 years ago. That you can't, because this way, you're not having a garage sale every weekend. Basically, once in 30 days for 3 days, and you're fine. And maybe you know of people, and if so, please let me know later, that are not happy about this. I've never run into that. I've never heard anyone complain about that. Also, Ms. Atari and Ms. Burkhold, your statements that the flagpole is illegal and that citizens were not asked about it, all those that donated to it and a lot of other people have voiced their opinions. Apparently, they are not in conjunction with your opinions, but hey, if somebody doesn't want something there, why would they donate to it? But they did, which means that the majority of citizens want that flagpole there.
This isn't an open discussion, please. This is the comments from this.
They want that flagpole there.
Please, there's no comments. Please, no comments. Anyone who speaks out again will be asked to leave.
Thank you. Thank you. That's it.
Councilmember Long?
I just wanted to comment on the piece about the garage sales. The P&Z, as the individual stated, P&Z met this morning. I'm the liaison for P&Z. It was an administrative change of a policy that already exists, as was pointed out, and we discussed that. But I guess at the time there was at least a majority of them that wanted to open up the hood and look into some of the issues that they were, it was brought to their attention that apparently they had an objection to. But yeah, the code itself, as far as the discussion this morning, it's been in place for some time. They did express a desire to have a further discussion on that, and they agreed at that point in time that they would. And at that point, if there was anything that would result from that, I, of course, would bring it forward to you as a liaison, and we'd discuss it at that time. But I think the consensus was that they were going to look at it, gather data, see if it was even a problem, as Ms. Lehman intimated. I'm not sure that we see that a lot. It's a great point that was made, but I'm not sure it warrants, changing our code for those very few, if any, exceptions. But yeah, just want to clarify that. And so that'll be forthcoming if anything materializes with regards to the garage sale piece that was discussed. Thank you.
Mr. City Manager.
Yes, I wanted to discuss the garage sale issue and then correct some misinformation. Garage sales are absolutely a problem. We get complaints all the time. There are homeowners in our community who every month on after 30 days, they can pull that permit and they will set up an entire business in the front yard for 3 days. And if there's no protection for the neighbors, all of them are they could do it every day, all week long. There are people view these as a business opportunity, and they will go out and collect stuff and then resell it. And so we do get calls, questions constantly about how come they can have a garage sale every single month? Come look at this, and we'll go take a look at it. They've got it set up, but they will put out. There's more stuff on the lawn and in the driveway than can even fit in the garage. So I just want you to know that this is an issue that if you're going to look at, make sure you look at the whole optics of it, because they do have negative impacts on those who abuse it, cause negative impacts on the community. Those who just want to have a garage sale and pull one a year, that's fine. But we do have regular offenders who literally pull that thing every time in order to generate money.
I 100% agree. I just want to make sure that my point was clear. I wasn't saying that we don't have an issue with garage sales. I was saying that little caveat that was brought forth, I certainly agree with everything you've said. And that's.
And then lastly, there was a speaker that talked, again, false information. That was sole source or single source approval is where there is no competition or competition in the market has been restricted. Councilmember Donnell had Maureen go through all the backup on the agenda items. If you look specifically at 7126, it says that was a procurement methodology, was a staffing cost proposal governed by a master agreement. The master agreement is in the contract, the staffing and cost proposal or just given to a company without competition. Thank you.
Councilmember Kilrain?
Yeah, I just want to comment on the youth who came forward, noting the hazard on some of the streets. And I find it remarkable. I sit on the charter board, and I'm impressed by what our youth brings forward. It really takes a lot of guts to come up here and talk. And for someone of that age to be able to do it and be in such a succinct manner, I think it's a real signal that our youth is going to be a great exchange in this country someday, and they'll be making great decisions. Just one comment, Mr. Senator, I think you mentioned something about the soil conditions. As you see, the project wasn't sent out to design until recently, and I think you have a building background. Maybe there's some soil conditions that I don't understand you're looking at, but were you looking at the core sampling for compaction, for moisture content, for what other factors, the type of soil it is? Do you have something specific in mind that you're reflecting, or just a general thing? Give me a ring and let me know, because there's a whole list of compaction deals, and I've been involved in some pretty substantial structures, towers of 400 feet in size, and I'm pretty familiar with a lot of that compaction requirements. And I'd love to discuss it with you. You want to have that discussion. Thank you. That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Real quickly for me, the four young men that came to the podium, thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate your comments. You know, when you look at their demeanor here tonight, you look at the demeanor of the 14-year-old girl that came to the podium last week regarding her friend that was struck here at Veterans. And you look at some of the demeanor of some of the other speakers. I think some of the other speakers could learn from our youth. I just wanted to commend you on being respectful and attending the meeting and coming to the podium and voicing what your concern was in a respectful manner. Lastly, I just, one quick thing, Mr. City Attorney, if you look in our council rules, under item T, public comment opportunities, under I, under that section, any person who is removed but not arrested from council meeting shall be barred for attendance of the council meeting and any subsequent regular or special council meeting, including the committee of the whole and community redevelopment meetings for a period of 30 days from the date of removal for the first offense. So I want to make sure that we apply that rule to the individual that was asked to leave here tonight.
I'll review, of course, the video and of course the council rules to make sure that we're in a solid position.
Okay, thank you. Okay, seeing no other lights on, we'll move on to the next item of the agenda, which are reports. Councilmember Lehman, report.
On 3/26, I attended the candlelight ceremony at the police station. Very moving ceremony, very heart-wrenching. I also attended the police swearing in, and I attended Catch the Vision. On the 27th, I went to the Friends ribbon cutting. On the 28th, I volunteered at the Jazz and Blues Festival. And on the 29th, I was at the VFW 60th anniversary, where the mayor and I, with the commander and the ceremonial saber, got to cut the cake. Oh, that thing was huge. Thank you.
Councilmember Long, report?
No report.
Councilmember Steinke?
Thank you, Mayor. On the 26th of March, I attended the Cape Coral Police Department swearing-in ceremony. Brought in 11 new fine officers to our department there. On the 28th of March, I attended the Lee BIA Barbecue Bands and Brew that supports Builders Gear, which I know we'll be looking at participating with them here in the near future as a city. And the 1st of April, today, I attended the annual Canal Watch Volunteers Recognition event. For those that don't know, Canal Watch volunteers are the ones that actually take samplings from our 400 miles of canals to make sure that we stay as ecologically sound as we can. They take those samples, they bring them in for testing. We thank them for doing that. And then also today we interviewed, we had 6 youth council candidate interviews. Youth council that you saw present this evening as our seniors leave. We have sophomores that will be becoming juniors that will have the potential of entering our youth council for the following year. And we interviewed 5 of those candidates today. And we look forward to interviewing some more potential candidates in the weeks to come. That's it.
Thank you. Councilmember Donnell?
Oh yeah, Council, just want to share with you a breaking news. Just got it. If you check, they just found out that this is Cape Coral City Council. We don't have to meet again until October 1st. April Fools, just kidding. All right, now. I tried. You guys got to work.
Hey, don't threaten us with a good time.
Got to work with me here. I just wanted to say, look, it's that time for those of us in our community that are faith-based. Please be aware that Saturday is Easter hunt day, so there'll be a lot of kids, a lot of families out. Sunday ride service at 5:30, so please, everybody drive safely and slowly because there will be a lot of activity going on. So I say happy Easter, the faith-based about the community as well as everyone. And that's all. Thank you.
Councilmember Kadik?
Thank you, Mayor. So Hector Caffaretta is a school that's coming online, hopefully in August. And in my one-on-one, I've been brainstorming with our city attorney on how we could make this work. So I would like to make a motion, and I'm looking for a second, to direct the city attorney to review and bring back potential amendments to our code for institutionally zoned properties such as schools to reduce these burdens while still preserving the character of our community and neighborhoods. The current code does not allow new schools to come online the way it's currently sitting to, and we know that we have a need for schools in our area. So I've been working with the city attorney and our city manager brainstorming. So I think it would be good for it to come back to us.
I'll give you the second, and I do agree with that. I have some ideas on that too that I will send to the city manager and city attorney and some of the research I've done. So you have my second.
And on that note, the institutional zoning, and I spoke to them about this, that would also include like LCEC. So I've been trying to make sure that it is aesthetically pleasing for all. And I just wanted you guys to know that. And of course, it would come back to council, but trying to really change the code in a still way that it would make neighborhoods beautiful. Thank you.
Councilmember Kilray?
Yeah, on March 26th, I attended the Cape Christian Leadership Conference. And just to note that in May 28th, the mayor is going to have a little opportunity to talk about the state of the city at that one. March 26th, also went to promotions and swearing in the Cape PD. Also on that evening, went to the candlelight service for the fallen. On March 27th, made a brief stop at the Horizon Council. March 27th, also I met with several people from Sandoval, a number of city-related items. March 27th, attended the Oasis Charter Award ceremony. March 28th, I had my town hall. Shout out for thank you from Matt Williams and Laura Dodd and Pam. They really helped support that. And it's really, I think, well, in high interest level. And the city manager attended and made some clarifications on some stuff on projects going forward. So it went down pretty well. Also on March 28th, visited Touch a Truck. Again, another great event by the chamber. March 28th, Jazz Festival golf course at the golf course. And again, hats off to city staff for pulling that off. It was well attended, extremely well done, and a lot of work involved in putting that together. March 29th, I also went to the Ambets for the 60th anniversary, and I got to eat the cake that they cut. On March 31st, I went to the Cape Bar Republican Club. April 1st, went to Canal Watches, Councilman Sankey mentioned, and also participate in the youth council interviews today. And just to know for any men who are in trouble with their wives, if you wreck your wife's car, you can buy her a new one, and it'll set you good for a few years. So thank you.
All right, just real quickly for me, I attended Cape Coral VFW 8463 60th anniversary celebration. Just a great opportunity to engage with our veterans there again and recognize all the great work they've done for the community over the last 60 years. Guest speaker at the Cape Coral Talk Radio on Monday the 30th. This morning I issued a proclamation for the World Landscape Architect Month at JC Park for the architects who did the design for JC Park. Gave me the opportunity to look around while I was down there. The park is coming along great. It looks beautiful. And I know that we're all eager to have the ribbon cutting at that particular location here soon. Also, myself and the city manager, I wanted to go down and take a look firsthand at the progress at the yacht club with the seawalls that are being replaced. Pretty much had all the docks and all the catwalks and everything removed throughout the yacht club area. They already started on the 45-foot long steel panels, basically putting them in place for the seawalls. So they've already started that construction. So they are progressing forward, and I look forward to keeping up on that particular project so we can get that that whole area revitalized. So with that being said, Mr. City Attorney, any
Mayor,
report?
you forgot about me.
Forgot about you?
I didn't forget about me.
I take medicine for that, but I'm sorry to go.
Okay, I'll make mine quick. Rude.
Go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry I skipped you.
Thank you, sir. So let's see. On the 26th, I attended the Lee GOP legislative update with Senators Pasadomo and Martin. And Senator Pasadomo said something so profound, I wrote down. We always talk about growth. We always talk about smart growth. We talk about consistent growth, making sure that we're not growing too quickly, paying attention to the balance. And she said that the state and the municipalities need to get together and put together a growth plan, because something that happens a lot now, she said especially, and I think we've seen this locally as well, is that developers oftentimes will bypass the municipality and go straight to the state, and that shouldn't be happening. So I wrote those words down, and I'm repeating them to you all because I think it's something that we need to think about. We need to somehow get on track, get back at partnering with our state legislators, and maybe have regular meetings with them. I'm not sure. I'm going to think about that, but I just wanted to bring that up. On the 29th, I also attended the VFW. I was a little nervous that they gave some swords out, but it ended up being a beautiful event, and I was really happy to celebrate that with some of my colleagues. on the 27th, I also attended Dr. Jonathan Francis' new office ribbon cutting. It's beautiful. He's a great eye doctor. He's mine. So I'm really proud for him and his family. Let's see. On the yesterday, I spoke at Mariner High School. I was interviewed by, I want to say 12 girls, all going to Girls State, and for 2 long hours. I was grilled with lots of questions, and I gave lots of answers. I also recommended they reach out to some of the other women on this board. But it was an honor, and we're in great hands. This next generation is so bright. And then, let's see. Oh, and then lastly, I also attended the Cape Coral Republican Club congressional debates last night. Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. City Attorney, I forgot, did you have anything?
No, nothing. Thank you.
Mr. City Manager?
I just want to announce that we are going to hold a second public meeting of the old golf course is set for April 8th at 6 p.m. in City Hall Council Chambers. So April 8th, 6 p.m. Council Chambers. And summer camp registration opens April 6th. So for those of you looking to send your children to Cape Coral Parks and Rec Department summer camp, registration will start opening up for that on April 6th at 5 a.m. in the morning. Thank you.
Okay. Madam City Clerk, you have something?
Yes, thank you. I wanted to ask council if we could add a meeting to your calendar for the strategic planning workshop to be held on Tuesday, May 5th, 2026, beginning at 9 a.m. at the Westin, 5951 Silver King Boulevard, Cape Coral, Florida, 33914.
How many tacos?
As we were working toward
9 a.m., everybody okay with that?
Mm-hmm.